Games all dropping just one, but the teams were separated by just a combined 2 points over those 3 games. All 3 meetings were won by the home team. Memphis enters the postseason as the 2 seed, matching their highest ever. They'll be seeking their first NBA Finals appearance in franchise history. The Grizzlies are one of 6 active teams without one. And according to the betting odds, the Grizzlies are favored to advance past the Lakers. This makes it the first time in LeBron James' career that he is the underdog in the first round of the NBA playoffs. Espn Lakers reporter Dave McMenamin joining us now. All right, Dave, the Lakers coming off Tuesday's overtime win against the Timberwolves, where LeBron and AD both logged over 43 minutes. So what are the Lakers doing to rest and get ready for Memphis?
Jay, if you count the play-in game, the Lakers played 8 games in 14 days through the finale of the regular season and into the beginning of the postseason. So Darvin Ham knew it was not the time to press on the gas on Wednesday and Thursday, gave the team off, no practice, get some time away, come in on Wednesday, you can get some treatment and whatnot. But today, get in a full practice, get some sweating, get on the court before they board a flight to Tennessee. They're going to have another practice in Memphis on Saturday, give themselves an extra day to adjust to the central time zone. And it's an early tip-off on Sunday, so tomorrow's practice will also kind of work in place of a shoot-around.
I mentioned this is the first time in LeBron's career that he's an underdog on the road in the first-round matchup. What's he doing to prep personally? What's he doing to prep for this Grizzlies team that has showed no fear and said they are not afraid of this challenge in this Lakers team?
Well, mentally, I can tell you, Jay, from the years I've covered him, this is a challenge that he almost has embraced to the point of hoping for it to happen. Back in 2018, when the Cavs were fighting to become a top seed in the East, he said, it doesn't matter for the 2nd seed, the 6th seed, the 8th seed. If I go into your building for a game 1, it can be very challenging for you. Certainly, that's a mentality he's carried over the last several years. LeBron James, his secret sauce in the postseason is sleep. He knows he can't turn back Father Time, but when he gets in that hyperbaric chamber, he can load up on sleep in the days off. Last night, he posted on social media he was watching Casino, starring Robert De Niro. Maybe that means he likes his chances when it comes to the odds being against him in this series against the Grizzlies.
Whatever it takes. Lakers face off against the Grizzlies, game 1, Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Dave McMenamin, always a pleasure, sir.
How about this about LeBron? When his teams have won the first game of the playoff series, it's basically been game over for his opponents. He's won 93% of his series after taking a 1-0 lead. And when he loses game 1, the percentage obviously drops, but he has still overcome more 0-1 deficits than any other player in NBA history. Big Perk back with us one more again. Here, let's talk about this series here. Let's start with the Lakers and the Grizz, because we know AD, we know LeBron, obviously going to be the driving forces behind any playoff success for the Lakers, but their depth certainly have been the stabilizing force for them in the second half of the season. Who needs to step up, in your opinion, most to help out the star duo?
Well, who's been getting a lot of TV time? What guy has been getting MVP chants in the Laker uniform outside of AD and LeBron? It's been Austin Reeves. And I feel like coming into this series, he has an opportunity to actually up his bag. The Brinks truck already going to be at his front door come this offseason. But I feel like the way that he plays with his IQ, his cutting ability, his ability to knock down the tray ball, he is going to have an important role in this series. He's probably going to be the 3rd leading scorer in this series outside of AD and Braun. Austin Reeves could play like he was playing when LeBron James was out. The Lakers are going to have a huge chance of winning this series against the Memphis Grizzlies.
All right, so on the Memphis side, listen, they don't care if it's Reeves, AD, LeBron. Dylan Brooks already said they all about that action. So who's the most important Grizzlies player if they're going to send LA packing?
Well, I'll tell you 2 players that they do care about is Steven Adams and Brandon Clark, and they don't have either one of those guys. So Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to have to elevate his game even more when it comes down to being that defensive presence. A guy that I believe that's going to win Defensive Player of the Year. He's going to have his hands full with Anthony Davis, but he's also going to have his hands full with the entire Lakers roster, including LeBron James, because, again, the Lakers are so great at getting in the paint and getting to the free throw line. So when I look at Jaren Jackson Jr., the one thing that I'm going to be looking at is, can he stay on the floor without getting foul trouble? Because history has shown us over the last couple playoff runs that the Memphis Grizzlies has been in, he hasn't been able to stay on the floor due to foul trouble.
Yeah, that's a good point. By the way, they call him the Block Panther, which I love that name. Led the league, obviously, in blocks in that category. He's also scored 30 more points in 3 of the last 4 games to end the regular season. So he's been playing really well. Talking about elevating his game is playoff perk, because he always does that when we got him on SportsCenter. Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you.
Participation trophy, we're not doing that. Let's move on. We got Lakers here. Next up, we're heading to LA, where LeBron and company are going to face Ja Morant and the Grizzlies on Sunday. Did Ja Morant share teammate Dylan Brooks' enthusiasm when he found out that they would take on the Lakers? Let's listen.
Really didn't care who we played, honestly. It was just, once I found out, locking into the scout and, being prepared for whichever team we had. Obviously, we do got the Lakers, so we got to focus in on them. But, the mindset doesn't change. We're a very confident team.
Han, let's go to you. You buying the cool, the poise, the calm from Ja?
No, I'm not buying it from this team, because all season long they've done nothing but talk. I mean, that's what they've been all about. They love to act up. This is what they do. They have to eat some humble pie at some point, and maybe LeBron and the Lakers, can bring it to them. I don't think it's going to happen, but this is definitely a team that you're starting to love to hate. And the talk that they have had all year long, all the smoke that they have wanted all season long, and now we're going to act like no big deal? Come on now. They would love to send them
I
off.
actually think this is right in line with Ja Morant all along. I mean, go back to a couple months ago. What did he say to Malik Andrews? We're fine in the West, right? The only team he was worried about was the Celtics. So to me, this is the same message. Like, hey, it doesn't matter who we're going to play. We're going to win. I mean, to me, this is Ja and the Grizzlies through and through.
Yeah, I agree with you, Bontemps. But Perk, technically the Lakers are underdog, as funny as that may sound to folks, but can the Lakers upset the Grizzlies, and why?
Yeah, they can. And we talk about how much smack the Memphis Grizzlies talk, and I actually love it, but we barely see LeBron James talk noise back. And we didn't see him getting into verbal altercations with Memphis Grizzlies and guys like Desmond Bain. So when I look at LeBron, who's guarding him? The one person that they might could have made an adjustment and put on them, he's out for the season, and Brandon Clark. And I think we keep not realizing how valuable Steven Adams and Brandon Clark is to this Memphis Grizzlies team. And without them, I believe that Anthony Davis and LeBron James is going to have it their way. I believe that the Lakers are going to live in the paint, and I believe that that defense that they have been playing the second part of the season is going to continue to carry over in this series.
Okay, Han, obviously LeBron is a key component to this series, but we are in uncharted territory with LeBron. He's 38, yes, he's been productive, but he also now is dealing with a bum wheel. What concerns you in terms of LeBron's productivity over a long and physical series, potentially?
Yeah, that's the part. Now, first of all, I love what Perk referenced there, which is that time, in the game where we heard LeBron over the mic saying, you're not going to disrespect me anymore. Like, that's enough of that. Like, he put a stop to it. So this series could get heated if the talk continues. The schedule starts out in the series great, because he gets 2 days off between 1 and 2 and 2 days off between 2 and 3. So you got to get your wins early, because then it's game, day off, game, day off, game. And that's going to be difficult when you're LeBron at 38 on the bum wheel, and he has been telling us how tired he is at this point. That's the part where you're concerned with the Lakers. So if they win a couple early, then they got a shot.
Well, look, to me, Perk's talking about the Lakers defense. I don't see how the Lakers are going to stop Ja Morant and Desmond Bane. You know, obviously, with no Steven Adams and Brandon Clark, that's a problem inside. I do think the Grizzlies have Xavier Tillman, who they can throw in Anthony Davis, keep Jaren Jackson out of foul trouble. But the Lakers have nobody to guard Ja Morant and Desmond Bane. And to me, that's where I think there's a huge advantage in this series for Memphis, where they can get out in transition, they can run, and those two young guys can go out there and play well. I mean, I think Perk is right in that Anthony Davis has a chance to be the best player in the series. I think if he is, I think the Lakers can win it. But to me, we haven't talked enough about the fact that the Lakers just don't have the horses to stop those young fellas from Memphis in the backcourt.
Well, Tim, let's pump our brakes for a second when it comes down to Desmond Baines. I love Desmond Baines. I think he is the guy that has improved every single season. But when it comes down to personnel to put on him, he's not in the category of Donovan Mitchell and Ja Morant and Luka and Kyrie Irving. He is